YouTube? What's up, Giants fans? It is your boy Jay Dimes, and we are back at it with another New York Giants video. Back at it with another New York Giants banger. And before we get to this one, if you're not done so yet, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, make sure you comment, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you love Giants football. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the cornerbacks. I've been up here talking about the wide receivers all off season, and it's fun to talk about. And you know, when I come out with my mock draft, which should be dropping tomorrow for the whole NFL, a whole NFL mock draft, most likely I'm gonna have the Giants taking a wide receiver if I don't have other teams taking wide receivers that I like in this year's draft. But the Giants need a cornerback, and in this class, it is a cornerback filled class. This class is filled with talented corners from the first round to the second round, third round, even guys you could find in the fourth, fifth, middle rounds of the draft. And in this video, I want to just talk about some other cornerbacks that I like and some of the cornerbacks I could see the Giants taking at 25 or possibly even in the second round of this year's draft. So we have a lot to get into. Let's get right into this one. Now, I'm going to get, into the cornerbacks that I definitely think the Giants could end up taking that could actually be on the board at 25 for them. But we have to talk about the cream of the crop, the top tier cornerbacks in this class. And I think we've all know and we've all seen that it has been two guys, and that would be Christian Gonzalez and Devon Witherspoon. These two guys are elite cornerbacks in this class. These two guys, in my opinion, are top 15 guys. I don't see the Giants being, in their position to grab these two prospects. These two guys are locked down corners. Now, let's look at Christian Gonzalez first and, just go over some of his, strengths and, just a little bit of his scouting report from the Draft Network. It says, overall, Gonzalez offers prototypical physical attributes with his size, length, and athleticism, and he pairs his elite traits with outstanding instincts and refined technique. He has the potential to be a lockdown corner at the next level and could develop into a Pro Bowl player early in his career. Perfectly said. Christian Gonzalez is arguably the best cornerback in this draft class. It's really between him and Devon Witherspoon. He has the length, he has the size, he has athleticism, and like I said, the instincts, to be one of the best cornerbacks in the game. And, I've seen comparisons to Jalen Ramsey for Christian Gonzalez. He is an absolute lockdown corner. You're talking about his hips. They're so freaking fluid. Like, he moves so smooth. It's amazing to watch. I wish one of these guys would be there at 25 for the New York Giants, but they are not. But Christian Gonzalez is one of the best cornerbacks in this draft class, arguably the best cornerback in this draft class, depending on who you ask. But let's get into Devon Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois. Let's see what they have to say, the Draft Network. Witherspoon should have little issue appealing to NFL teams with his play style, physical skills, and versatility. The question will be whether or not teams grant him the chance to play outside, or if they feel his frame limits him to only being effective in the slot. I believe he has a chance to be a winning player on the perimeter and therefore would offer him the opportunity to play there first. With more refinement, he could thrive in a man-heavy system, New York Giants, and be an impact starter. Definitely. He is, I think, around 5'11", 193, depending on what sites you look at. Again, lockdown cornerback, absolutely locked down. I think on PFF, when you're looking at the prospects, his stats, it said that he gave up a 25.1, I want to say 25.1 QBR allowed. That is, you don't even throw the ball that way. If that's the QBR you're giving up, you don't even want to throw the ball over there. You don't want to throw the ball over there. I think he had 3 interceptions, 5 pass defenses last year, and he was arguably the best cornerback in all of college football last season. So these two guys, Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon and Devon Witherspoon out of Illinois, are just two guys that are the elite cornerbacks of this draft class. In my opinion, those are top 15 players. I think those guys go top 15. If they fall, I don't think it's going to be nowhere near with the Giants. I think they can, I think top 20 is basically the floor of where these two guys are going to go in the NFL draft. But those are just the two elite cornerbacks that I think the Giants are not going to be able to get, but are great prospects in this cornerback heavy draft class. Now, the next two prospects I want to talk about is Joey Porter Jr., cornerback out of Penn State, and a guy that a lot of Giants fans and what I have seen a lot of people mock at pick 25, Deontay Banks, cornerback out of Maryland. Let's hop into Joey Porter Jr. first. He stands at 6'2.5", 193 pounds. He's a plus athlete. He definitely has the size and the build to play on the outside. Let's read about him though. Expectations for Porter Jr. are going to be rooted firmly in where he lands from a system perspective. Press man teams, cough cough, New York Giants, will get the most value out of him, but I see a world where he's impactful in a deep third coverage and a cover 3 heavy zone corner as well. In either outcome, this is a day one starter for an NFL defense. Definitely. He has a size. He definitely would fit the Giants scheme as a man press, stay on an island type of guy. And we know that is what, the New York Giants want to run. That is what, Wink Martindale strives off of. That's what he wants his defense to be like. And Joey Porter Jr., if he was to fall at 25 for the Giants, that might be a pick the Giants have to make. He might be a more prioritized pick than a Jordan Addison or a Zay Flowers. And I've been a big Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison guy. You guys know that if you've been watching on the channel. But Joey Porter Jr. is a day one start at the cornerback position. He fits his scheme. Now, is he a little bit grabby? If it is one, I guess you say, con to his game is he's grabby. He is definitely grabby. He has gotten penalized a bit much in his college career, but it comes with the way he plays. He plays man press, and he's going to stay on you. And if he has to grab and be physical to, knock that ball out, that is what he's going to do. Let's get into a few of his, strengths of his game. Prototypical length and then some to play press man on the perimeter. Exactly. Excellent ball skills at the catch point. Now, that's true. He has, the skills to knock passes down. But one other knock that I've heard and seen about him in scouting reports is that he hasn't turned those into interceptions. You would love to see a cornerback, turn those pass defenses into big-time interceptions. But I guess you could say that's been a little bit picky, but let's get into it. Significant growth in press technique and footwork in 2022, and height, weight, speed athlete at a premier position. Perfectly said. Joey Porter Jr., in my opinion, is the third best cornerback in this draft class. So if he was to fall to 25 for the Giants, you gotta take him. I feel like that's a guy that is, going to be high on the Giants board, coming out of Penn State. They have that, they're good at developing, NFL ready prospects. I love myself some Joey Porter Jr. Now let's get into Deontay Banks, cornerback out of Maryland, who a lot of people making mock drafts, a lot of draft experts, and a lot of Giants fans have been raving about this guy. And he has been a consistent pick that we have seen at 25 for the New York Giants. I definitely think this guy is in play for the Giants. And if they were to take him over one of these wide receivers, I couldn't fault the Giants. I wouldn't be mad at the Giants, even though I love a lot of these wide receivers that the Giants could take at pick 25, Flowers, Addison, JSN, etc. I could not be mad if the Giants went the cornerback route and taking this guy out of Maryland. Let's read about him though. It's a pretty long passage, so if you want to read this, it's going to be on the screen, but we're going to read this part right here. Banks is a plus-level athlete, but not elite to the point where his athleticism can naturally make up for his flaws and his lack of technique. For Banks to be effective in man-to-man coverage, he has to be consistent with his technique. Banks also needs to improve his discipline in zone coverage. He is aggressive to attempt to jump passes and leaves himself vulnerable to double moves and giving up big plays. It says reason to buy in. Some of his pros: plus level size and length, good reactionary athleticism, and physical press corner. Again, fits the Giants scheme. Does he have flaws? Yes. He is going to be, he's not going to be a guy that is going to have the best technique coming out of the draft. He's not going to have the technique like a Devon Witherspoon or like a Christian Gonzalez. That's why he's not falling, but that's why he's kind of, I guess you say, mocked or projected to go middle to late first round. But he's definitely has some, intangibles that the Giants and what I like in him. He has, that physical press man corner. He's that guy. He is that guy. He's physical. He has that, that build, again, to play on the outside. He's not the guy that you draft and say, okay, we're going to throw him in the slot. He's not that type of guy. He's not that type of guy. And another thing that I have seen and read about him is that sometimes when, the ball is thrown to him, he has a problem, turning his head around. That is a fixable, I can say con to his game. That is a coachable fix right there. So that doesn't stop me from taking him. I've seen a lot of people say he's their third best cornerback in the draft. I would love for the Giants to dive into some Deontay Banks, man. I really would. I think he has definitely been one of the most mocked players I have seen at pick 25 for the New York Giants. So, These are two guys that I also like. These are, basically my third and fourth cornerbacks, basically, on my board, kind of. So, we've talked about Devon Witherspoon, we've talked about Christian Gonzalez, and we talked about Joey Porter Jr. and Deontay Banks. Now, let's get to some guys that I think the Giants could possibly get at 25 or possibly look at in the second round. Now, I want to get into, the first prospect is a guy that stock has fallen. Definitely has fallen. At first, we've seen him as possibly a bona fide first round guy. And now it's, when we see mock drafts, this guy has fallen to the second round. And that is cornerback Keely Ringo out of Georgia. Let's read about him. Overall, the CB1 hype for Ringo has lost legitimate steam after the 2022 season. He didn't take that big jump as we thought he was coming out of the 2021 season. That said, he is at worst a second round pick. I project him to be a fit for a heavy cover 3 defense. He can operate with match concepts and be a matchup specific cornerback in man coverage. If he can begin to get his head around quicker, I can see his pass breakups and ball protection improving. Ringo looks to be a day one starter that can protect deep thirds and funnel routes underneath and to strength of the coverage. Only a 2-year starter, he can improve the technical aspects of his game. Some reason to buy in: his pros, height, weight, and speed, instinct, zone coverage upside, and some of his concerns is change of direction, limited ball production, and stop-start ability. Yes, there has been plays where Keely Ringo has got toasted. There has been plays that he has got absolutely toasted, but there's also been plays where he has been making, groundbreaking pass deflections. It's crazy. It's like if you get this guy in the second round, you could end up getting possibly the steal of the draft. This guy was, projected to be CB1 after 2021 coming out of that Georgia, that defense that is freaking made how many NFL talents, it's so many players that came out of that defense from Georgia that has ended up being, impactful starting players in the NFL. But with Keely Ringo, is he a guy that the Giants can take at 25? I definitely think so. I definitely think he is a guy that the Giants could take at 25, but are they? I don't think they would. I don't think Keely Ringo right now is a guy that I think the Giants would look at 25. I think he's going to be on the board. I definitely do. If the Giants were to take him, I think that pick will get criticized on draft night. But when we go back and look at what he has done before that 2022 season, you're going to be like, okay, we see why they took him in the first round. But I think he'd definitely be a second round guy. He can definitely be a second round pick, but he's trying to go in the first or second, whichever one. But Keely Ringo is a guy whose stock has dropped ever since that 2021 season, coming out that 2022 season, where he didn't take that big leap like a lot of people thought he would. The next I want to get into is Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State. I like this cat. I like him. I definitely like him, but the big thing you look at, the big concern on him is the weight. It's definitely the weight. He stands at 6'1", only 166 pounds. Only 166 pounds. Probably less than that soaking wet. So when you look at that, he's not going to be a guy that's going to be able to press up a guy like DK Metcalf. If he tries to press up a guy like DK Metcalf, he's going to get pushed back. In the running game, he's going to get moved around because he is only 166 pounds, but he also has some things that I like about his game. You're looking at his ball skills, they're elite. He has elite ball skills. He has the ability, to catch interceptions and take them to the freaking house. Let's read about him, though. Forbes projects as a true perimeter and outside cornerback. I do not envision him sliding into the slot at the next level. For his ball skills and returnability is an unteachable combination. He has the most pick sixes in FBS and SEC history. Toning down on aggressiveness and being more disciplined can benefit his NFL future. The development or furthering of his technical process will be important to his ceiling. I believe he can become a CB2 for a defense. His pros: ball production. Again, he has a ton of interceptions, and he has took those interceptions and some of them interceptions to the house. He has elite ball skills, probably the best ball skills in the class. I wouldn't be shocked if someone said that. Coverage versatility. He can play in a zone. He still can play in, I guess you say off-man coverage. He can play in off-man coverage, but I don't think you want him, having to press up against a guy because he was only 166 pounds. Football intelligence and instincts. A few of his cons is overly aggressive. He does take chances. Sometimes he does, say, hey, I'm going in or I'm going all out. Rather, I'm going to catch his interception, return it for a touchdown, or I'm going to get scored on. So that's definitely one Con to his game, the slim build frame, and the aggressive play style. He plays like a guy that's 6'3", 200 pounds though. He doesn't play like a guy that's 6'1", 166 pounds. But when you look at, the NFL and those guys, those wide receivers like an AJ Brown, I wouldn't want him going up against AJ Brown. I wouldn't want him going up against AJ Brown. I wouldn't mind him going up against a guy like Deontay Smith. I wouldn't mind that at all. But if you're looking at Emmanuel Forbes, he definitely has the ball skills to be an outside cornerback. But he has that 166-pound frame that I definitely think some people are going to look at and say, oh, we're not going to take this guy. Could be a second-round guy for the New York Giants. If he falls to that second round, he falls to pick 57, if I'm not mistaken, I would be ecstatic on day two, whatever you want to call it, if the Giants walked out the second round with Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State. Could easily be a guy we get at 25. I've still seen some people say, he can still be a first-round guy, but right now I'm seeing him as a second-round pick. But if the Giants were able to snag him at pick 57, I would be a happy, happy Giants fan. I would be a happy, happy Giants fan. The next guy we're going to get into is Tyreek Stevenson, cornerback out of Miami. Let's read about him. Its expectation for Stevenson will depend on the scheme he lands in. He definitely fits the Giants scheme. He fits the Giants scheme for sure. Placing Stevenson into a press man heavy system feels like the right pathway to the NFL success for this player. Although I could foresee a projection to safety and success there as more of a developmental prospect. Top reasons to buy in is untouchable physical length on the perimeter, steadily developing player as a 2-year starter at Miami, aggressive mentality and fiery demeanor, physical tackler. And some of his cons is he played in a scheme-specific talent on the outside, tightness in hips, limits transitional abilities in space, open field tackling fundamentals need improvement. He stands at 6 foot even, 198 pounds. I like him. I do. I think he's a guy that is a underrated pick at pick 25. I definitely think he's an underrated guy. I don't see a lot of Giants fans speak on the possibility of taking this cat out, at pick 25, but I definitely think he's in play because he plays that press man coverage, and that is what the Giants and Wink Martindale are looking for on the defense. So he's not a guy that I've looked a lot much into, but I do, hear his name around that, back in first round, early second round, definitely. But that was just a few guys that I wanted to talk about. It's a lot of more cornerbacks that we could have talked about in this video, but if that was the case, we would be here for a whole freaking hour, and nobody wants that. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, go ahead and comment, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and also drop down below in the comment section. Who is a cornerback you want the Giants to draft in the NFL draft this year? Who do you want? Right, if it's in the first round, second round, third round. Keep it realistic. We're not getting Devon Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez. We're not getting those guys. So don't drop those guys' names down there unless you trade up or something, or they fall miraculously on draft night. But that's really it. Again, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, hit the subscribe button. Again, a lot of draft content is coming out. If you love videos like this, a lot of videos like this are going to be coming out for the wide receivers, the offensive line. Can't wait to make those videos for you guys. But stay tuned. Tomorrow, our NFL mock draft is going to be out. You're going to see what I think is going to happen, not with the Giants, but the other 31 NFL teams. So if you enjoyed this though, leave a like, comment, hit the subscribe button. It'll be very, very much appreciated. And until then, it's been your boy J Dimes. Thank you guys for watching. Love you boys, and we are out. Go Giants. Peace.